just before we get started, I want to just take a slight step back to partitioning. If I explode 24, this is the 3 different ways that it can be made. Then we move on to this, and this is the number 49 represented. And what we ask them to do is we would say, okay, build me 49, so we build the number. And then we would say, this time I want you to take away, from 49, I want you to take away 23. Take away 3 units, and we take away 2 tens, leaving us with 26. Now obviously there was no exchanging involved in that, but that's the first step. It's when we move on to something like this that it gets slightly more difficult, but all the work that's gone before is so crucial to get into this stage. 24, and I want to take away 6. But I don't have 6 units, I only have 4, and this is where their experience in partitioning comes in. Units and 1 10, but it's still 24. So when I say to them then, okay, now take away 6, is it easy? So easy. And they can easily take away their 6 units, leaving them with their 18. Once they've mastered the taking away of just units, then we want to move on a little bit further and challenge them to take away both units and maybe just 1 10. So what I've done here is I've built 24 on the top, and I've just written the digit underneath that we want to subtract. If I'd put 6 units in there, then that would have seemed like we were adding. Always starting upstairs in our units. 4 take away 6. Impossible. We might need to explode this number in a different way to help our units out. Or sometimes I say we need to tap on our 10s to top up our units. Different teachers have different ways of explaining what they're doing, and so we need to top up our units, and the way we do that is by exchanging from one of our 10s into 10 units. So we always take before we top up. We always take first, because some children will just top up the units and forget to take. So I always say to them, you have to take then top up. So we take one of the 10s and then we top up the units. Already we can see that this is much more manageable. So we have 14 on top now, and we want to take away 6. So we do that. 2, 4, 6. And this is what we have left. We have 2, 4, 6, 8 left. Upstairs 10s. 10 take away. Remember, if the space is free, it's a 0. Encourage them to write it in. Does help. 1 10 take away 0 10s. Leaves us with 1 10. Now that we've covered the language of exchanging when subtracting, I want to take you through some of the textbook mistakes that crop up all the time. Their brains are processed in a way that they are attracted to things that are familiar to them, and 2 take away 0 is much more familiar to them than 0 take away 2. So they'll say 2 take away 0 is 2, but they're forgetting that we must always start with our upstairs units. So if it's 0 take away 2, that's impossible. And so we take one of these 10s and we top up our units. Remember, always taking then topping up. Now, some children find it difficult when there's a 0 in the upstairs units because they think, oh, how many have I got now? And they find it hard to just put the 1 with the 0 to make it 10. They think that they still have nothing. Some children think that they have 1 now. Some children change the 0 to a 1. So 10 minus 2, 8. Then we have 6 minus 3 is 3. There are honestly so many variations of examples of subtraction with exchange, and it's really not until the children encounter them that you feel you have to explain it, because you don't want to overwhelm them at the beginning with all the possible examples. But I think also it's important to remember that just because in this example we've moved on to hundreds, tens and units, which we're moving up closer to Key Stage 2, that we're not afraid to get out the manipulatives again. We're not afraid to get out the hundreds, tens and units, because again, and it's my mantra, is that children need to see maths. I've chosen 147 for a reason, because we're definitely going to have to exchange in the units column, we're definitely going to have to exchange in the tens column, and our hundreds will look after themselves. We have 6 on top, 6 units, always again upstairs units, because again, children will see 7, they're almost attracted to the bigger number. 7 take away 6 is 1. Not right. 6 take away 7, impossible. So we're only going to go to the next column. Some children again jump straight to the hundreds because they think, oh, there's loads of that can help me, but it doesn't work that way. We're only allowed to get the help of the next column, the column to our left. So we have our 6 units, we're trying to take away 7, so we have to exchange one of our tens for 10 units. Again, always remembering to take before we top up. So that's our 10 units, so we've exchanged. So now we have 16 take away 7, which is 9. So we're going to take away those 7, that leaves us with 9. We move to our next column. We did have 3, but we had to exchange 1, so now we just have 2. So it's 2 take away 4, again not 4 take away 2, top take away bottom, 2 take away 4, impossible, so we need the help of the hundreds. When we're exchanging from tens to units, children grasp that very easily, in that it's just 10 times bigger because they've loads of experience using tens and units. Somehow when we come to hundreds to tens, even though it's exactly the same concept, that hundreds are 10 times bigger than 10, children struggle with that sometimes. So that's why it's so important to see it. So we have to get the help of our hundreds, and we top up our tens with 10 more. So we've taken one of our hundreds, we've exchanged it for 10 tens, because 10 tens is the same value as 100. So now we have 12 in upstairs tens. 12 take away 4 is 8. And then we've settled the tens column, so now we move to the hundreds. We have 100 on the top, we're taking away 100, we remove that, and that leaves us with 0. And there you have it. That is my roundup of subtraction with exchange, the basics. I'm going to have a little part 2 to this video, just taking you through some of the common errors made and some of the little mistakes that you might want to look out for when working with your child. Bye!